had much success at all in the arena.
I remember those well.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you remember. I don't know if you remember the record, but
yeah,
they were always good games. So Wichita and the Steamers always had good games, but they couldn't win here.
Tremendous rivalry. We just seemed to have their number. They were so good on the ball, and they worked the ball so beautifully, one-touch passing. But we were a younger team, and we were a spirited team, and eventually we'd wear them down, and it seemed like when it came right down to the end, we were able to do enough to beat them.
A lot of injuries for Wichita. Perry Vanderbeck is out probably for the year. The St. Louis, and Danny Pena is out. Victor Moreland is out. Ian Fairbrother is out. Of course, both keepers, Ron Ferron and Chris Pete, they're both out of action. So Wichita is a little lean tonight, but they do have two of the better offensive players in the league. And, of course, Chico Borja and Dale Irvin can light it up, especially Dale Irvin. The former captain of the UCLA National Championship team has 42 goals and 67 points of the season. Chico's not having a big year offensively with only 21 goals. You expect more than that out of him, don't you, Ty?
He still can hurt you at those critical times in a game, but you're right. The consistent performance in terms of points has been lacking from him.
We're underway as Wichita kicks it into the St. Louis end, and we've got a violation against the Storm, a legal procedure because the Storm kicked the ball into their own zone or was touched in there, and Zoltan Toth caught it. You can't do that when you carry it back into your own zone. So Wichita will have a free kick from the top of the restraining arc, and Chico Borja will take it. He's got Jimmy McGee on the left side.
We've seen a lot more goals this year from this situation because of the bigger goal.
Here is a shot right off of that free kick. Another shot from the left side by McGee, and Toth makes the save. Played back to him by Doran, and Zoli throws it up the left side in front of the penalty box for Brian Schmetzer. He passes off the wall back to Dragicevic. Right side it goes to Preki. Preki, long ball across the floor. Good ball to Schmetzer. Into the zone quickly to Thompson. You see it. It's almost marked up over there by Chico Morera, and can't turn on it. Ball is kicked back to midfield to Doran, to Schmetzer, and back to Toth.
There's a real danger playing a team like Wichita. They're in last place, but they've won a couple, so they think they've still got a chance maybe for that playoff spot. They're trying to make their move. The Storm, on the other hand, you have to be kind of pleased with themselves being right up near first place.
You see it hits the ball off the end boards. Dragicevic went for it and missed it. Preki got it and then lost it. And coming forward is Goran Hunyak, who is back into action. He was out all season with knee surgery. Played Tuesday night in a game that was his first game of the year and had a goal in the first half of play.
He had a few assists, too. I think he's been an important part of this mini resurgence that Wichita has made because he is a very skillful attacking player. He makes the other players around.
Freddie up to Preki again at the red line. Preki with 50 goals on the season. Beats Borja down the near boards. Borja then pinched him to the boards and is called on a foul as he interfered with him.
It's good to see the pace of the game pick up because you would think after Tuesday night's game, both teams would have come out here really flying. And Storm were missing Clavijo.
Oh, here's a hard shot by Preki. Brown is saved. Thompson, you see it with the rebound and puts it in. Storm jump in front as Preki made the shot. Brown made the save, deflected it right over to Tomo. He hit it first time and from not a very good angle.
A real tough angle. In fact, in order to put it in, it hit the inside of that far post and then rebounded in. But you heard me shut up real quick. Preki was making his usual move to the inside that only he can do, and he unleashed that fierce shot. And Brown made a real good save again.
Made a very good save.
But there's no way he could get that second one when Tomo squeezed it inside the near post.
Number 52 for Thompson. You see it. It's 1-0 Storm. This is St. Louis Storm soccer. That had goal written on it also. Just didn't get it down quite enough. He and Terry Brown, he and Donegan doing some good work up front.
Maybe this goal will wake the boys up. They need to go after Cliff Brown, an inexperienced keeper, a guy who hasn't played in this league for 7 years.
You got to bang away at him. Long ball down to Brad Smith in the St. Louis zone, marked up by Brown. Terry's got his hand on his back. Brad Smith still has it, lays it back to Chico Morera at the red line. Across the floor to Omar Gomez. Gomez down low. Now here is Gomez in the corner off the end. Boards, almost an own goal. Now it is a goal. The Storm virtually put it in themselves. It was finally finished off by David Byrne. But
some confusion. You hear the booing because it was not a pretty goal, and the Storm had a couple stabs at it. Zoltan Toth had a couple stabs at it too as the ball was rebounding in behind him. There were a couple defenders there.
I think he's bumped into by his own man.
Yeah, a little bit of confusion and a comedy of errors probably when it comes right down to it. But Wichita caused the problem in the first place. A real nice overlapping run and a takeover. They got the whole Storm defense and Zoltan Toth out of position. The ball now in behind them. They're scrambling. And if someone could have communicated or taken charge, maybe the goal would have been avoided.
That makes it 1-1. Mike Fox has it deep in the Wichita zone. Kicks it back outside, but nobody there for St. Louis. It's picked up by Hunyak. Hunyak and Fox fighting each other down the floor. Now Hunyak pulls up and stops and plays the ball over to Terry Rowe, to Borja. Borja beats Godfrey Ingram, trying to beat Eyes and can't do it. Eyes has the ball, far boards. David stops the ball now as he is turned around by Hunyak to Fox. One touch pass to Schmetzer. Schmetzer, long ball intended for Godfrey Ingram. Oh, what a great goal, Godfrey Ingram! What a great goal for Godfrey Ingram as he settled the ball with his legs stretched as far out as he could play Godfrey.
And a beautiful pass by Brian Schmetzer to find him in the open. And Brian Schmetzer knew who he's passing to because maybe only about 3 guys in the league that could have caught up with that ball. Godfrey Ingram is one of them. And not only did he catch up with it by stretching at the last second, moving at full speed, he was able to control it with one touch, finish it off with the second touch, and find that lower corner to beat Brown to Brown's right.
Well, that's the beauty of it, the fact that he was able to settle that ball in the dead run. Here's Rowe stealing the ball. Schmetzer's pass intended for Muir. Rowe with a steal, and Zoli with a great save on a shot from about 60 feet by Terry Rowe. Here's Borja with a shot as the horn sounds and goes up on a play. That was a gymnastic-type tense game. Storm out shooting the Wings 11-8 in the first quarter of play. Toth made 2 saves, and Brown made 5 saves in his inaugural quarter of play after being out of this league for a whole bunch of years. He had to sign, if you're just joining us, an emergency 15-day contract because of both of Wichita's keepers are out injured. We're ready for the second quarter as Doran gets the ball off the kickoff to Fredrickson, middle of the floor to Preki. Preki gives it to Thompson, you see it. Settles it nicely, right side for Preki, but running back to win the ball is Steve Pittman, a step in front of Donegan can really run. Here is Chico Borja down in the left corner for Byrne. Byrne marked up by Doran. 27 seconds left on the Wichita power play to Morera. He cranks, fires, and Toth makes a save. Morera the rebound, and Borja right there to put it in. Chico Morera laid it off to Borja right on the post. And a power play goal for the Wichita Wings. Chico Borja gets it, and they tie the game at 2. This is St. Louis Storm soccer. Off to Ingram in midfield. Godfrey to the middle of the floor. Off to David Eyes. Eyes plays it back to Muir. A couple of young defensemen out there with Eyes and Muir. First-year man and a second-year man. Here is Dragicevic having trouble controlling a bouncing ball, a pass, then a handball called against the Wings. And so the Storm, luckily, fortunately, will have a free kick just outside their red line as they had lost the ball. Borja's 22nd goal of the season, a power play goal from Chico Morera, has tied this game up. Chico's scoring for Wichita on a power play. Here's Doran into the zone. Doran crosses in and a shot to goal by, who was it, Dragicevic?
Yes, Dragicevic from Doran.
And there's a card, also a red card. Do I see a red card? Yes, a red card against Brad Smith. The Storm was indicating that Smith got it with his hand, that he tried to intentionally stop the ball with his hand. That's the only thing I can assume, and he was immediately given a red card.
On their feet, the goal and the
5-minute power play, come on.
It'll keep you focused.
All right, here we go. Storm on a 5-minute power play. Now, you'll have to help me here, Ty. Does this work the same way it does in hockey? It doesn't matter how many times you score?
No, I think he's out if there's a goal.
In hockey, if there's a major penalty,
they stay in no matter what.
So the Storm will have a 5-minute power play here as Preki plays it back down the floor to Toth.
In fact, they changed that rule in this league due to a situation that happened here the first year of the Steamers when Detroit scored like 6 unanswered goals in a similar situation.
Preki approaches the red line, kicks it in the right corner for Ingram. Ingram back to Preki at the red line, right in the middle of the floor. Preki dribbles it a couple of feet, lays it off to Doran. Doran over to Ingram along the right wing boards, back to Preki at the red line. Preki to Leite. Ball was too far for him and knocked away, but Preki comes over to the boards and gets it, hammers it off the boards. So Doran goes over to the middle of the floor and picks it up.
Doran had the assist on that last goal, and it was a pass that he actually mishit. He was almost chuckling as the ball went in.
Here's Ingram running onto a shot and hammering it way up into the crowd. So given to Brad Smith for violent conduct, and he has been ejected.
He's probably listening to us in the locker room.
Not very happy, no doubt. Not very happy. It's very rare in this game to get thrown out. As I said, we really couldn't see from our vantage point what happened. So, but the officials were there.
Well, we did see Dragicevic go flying.
And I'll say this for the official, he made no mistake about it.
No,
he didn't hesitate.
Nope.
Wichita has the ball. Storm have the power play. Terry Rowe at the red line. Thompson, you see him, comes running up from behind to steal it, saying, come on, guys, let's get going. 3.5 minutes left on this 5-minute power play. Over to Preki. Preki slowly across the midfield line. Leite comes onto the field. You got 4 scorers out there, 4 offensive players in Preki, Leite, Ingram, and Thompson. You see him.
Duran can score.
Oh, yeah, he used to be up front. Played midfield. Here's Leite into the zone. Leite with a shot off the glass. Doran runs onto the rebound but can't shoot it. Lays it off to Preki. Red line. Preki down low for Godfrey Ingram. Off to Doran. Doran back to Ingram in the right corner. Godfrey and Thompson, you see it. Oh, he shoots and just misses as he hit it first time on that cross by Ingram. Missed by perhaps 2 feet on the right side. It banged off the boards. 2:52 left in the power play. Preki to Leite, just inside the zone. Back outside to Preki, at the red line. Preki down low to Ingram again. Ingram across the floor to Leite. Marcio couldn't shoot. Had to wait, had to settle it. Here's Doran. Doran fires. Oh, he had Thompson, you see him standing on the post. Leite with a shot off the glass. Comes back to Doran. He settles the ball. Off to Preki. Preki runs onto it, cuts it around one man, gives it over to Darrell. Doran down low for Ingram. Ingram tried to cross it, fell down as he did, as Doran was coming forward, and then the Wings kick it all the way down the floor, high in the air. Actually went over the scoreboard, if you can believe that.
It did.
I thought it was going to go right in and dump inside the thing. Now there's only 2 minutes and 7 seconds remaining on the power play.
Steve Petcher's the only guy I ever saw do that. He put it up there and it never came back. It might still be up there. He's so proud of it, too. That's what I couldn't get over.
Preki at the red line, cuts it down low to Ingram. Ingram to Thompson, you see it. Tomo, though, hit it with his right foot instead of his left foot, went high to the boards. Now it's kicked off the floor.
Brown might have got a piece of that one, too. I think he beat Tomo to it.
Kicked off the floor by Wichita, so it'll be a kick in for the Storm with 1:49 remaining on their 5-minute power play.
You don't want to pass this one up.
No.
Well, because it could come back to haunt you. Psychologically, too, you're going to figure we had all that time, we weren't able to do anything with it.
Storm is the middle of the pack in terms of power play efficiency on the season in the league. 26 power play goals in 63 opportunities, this being number 64. And what this does, too, if you don't...
You got to have that floor time when you're a man up.
Wichita is changing some players. Steve Pittman walks slowly to the bench.
And taking their time doing it, right?
Getting a little bit of a breather. Here's Doran with 1:45 on the power play to Godfrey Ingram. Back middle of the floor to Preki. Preki, right side for Leite. Leite down to the corner for Thompson. You see it in the left corner. Back to Leite, right wing boards. Leite back to Tomo. Tomo dribbles it back out, crossing the floor to Darrell Doran. Doran down low for Godfrey Ingram. Ingram back to Doran, tried to get it to Doran. Rowe blocked it. Ball kicked high in the air back to midfield. And Preki settles it there with only 1:20 left on the man advantage. Preki to Marcio Leite. Leite down low to Thompson. You see him try to cross it to Ingram. Ball went over his head. Preki gets it back at midfield. Back to Leite. Marcio cuts it down low for Thompson. You see it, and he scores. There it is. Leite to Thompson. You see it as Tomo was wide open near the left post and hammered it into the right corner. 1:05 left on that power play when the Storm
watching that team.
Thompson, you see it, gets the goal, a power play goal, his 10th power play goal of the year, his 53rd goal.
So nimble on his feet. His moves are so quick, and he's away. He draws a lot of fouls. That's 3 against David Byrne in this half.
Here's Preki to Muir. He fires and scores! Greg Muir, the rookie from Preki, and is Muir happy? Boy, he hammered that ball with his right foot. He creamed it.
He's happy because he got all of it. He got every bit of that ball. It bulged the net. A low fired shot and he was really running onto it. Preki gave him a perfect ball to really get a lot of power behind it.
Greg Muir with his second goal as a professional. He's got that Wilson keeper that they throw into the stands, and he's looking for somebody in particular, I think.
I think he found him.
And I think he found him. Greg Muir with his second goal, and that makes it a 5-2 Storm lead. Preki, his second assist of the night, and that's Preki's 41st assist on the season. Preki now with 91 points on the season with 50 goals.
4 p.m.
Doran at the midfield line. Darrell directing some traffic off the boards for Emil. Emil trying to kick it ahead. Oh, and Emil ran hard into Pittman, and Pittman's going to get a penalty. Now Pittman looked like he poked.
Yeah, he shoved at him.
Shoved at him. Right in front of the official, I guess.
It was right in Dragisevic's face. Dragisevic still on the ground for getting hammered to the ground by Pittman, and it's pretty easy to see, based on what we're looking at tonight, why Wichita is the most penalized team in the league. They first of all caused some fouls, and then they're right away looking for more.
Yeah, I said I didn't think of them as a physical team. I guess I'm going to have to change my mind about that. Pittman and Dragisevic ran together and really hammered him. And then when Emil went down, Pittman stood over him, straddled him, and was poking at him or pointing at him, and maybe shoved him a bit.
I thought he pushed him back down a little bit.
So Pittman's off for 2 minutes. Storm 1-for-1 on the power play. They had that long 5-minute power play. They scored 3 minutes and 55 seconds into that power play. Now they have another opportunity. Thompson, you see it, got that one, his 10th power play goal of the season.
And his second goal tonight.
Here is the restart for the Storm. Preki has 5 seconds to kick it. Kicks it over to Ingram. Ingram's shot is blocked on the far side by Vince Beck, who is seeing his first activity of the night. Beck was recently released by Wichita and then re-signed as a developmental player, which they can do to American-born players in their first year. Preki tried to get it across the floor to Ingram, went through the legs of David Byrne, kicked back down the floor, and then Byrne collided a little bit with Doran and fell down. Preki comes forward. A minute 44 left in the quarter. A minute 30 left in the power play. Storm up 5-2. Preki, right side of Doran. Crowd imploring the Storm to get one here. Doran volleys it to Leite. Leite down low to Thompson. You see him back to Leite on a little give and go, but the touch was too hard, and Leite couldn't get to it. But Preki picks it up for Doran. Down low, Ingram. Ingram shoots, and it's blocked by Beck. Then he gets it back. Kicks it across the floor. Thompson, you see, and gets it there. Wins it. Back to Preki at the red line. Preki approaches the red line on the dribble down to Thompson. A header by Thompson, you see, and missed. Doran follows and scores! A goal for the captain, Darrell Doran, on the rebound. And it's 6-2 Storm. Another power play goal.
And another scorcher was Doran. He whipped around with that right foot. It was nearly blocked, so he had to come through forcefully just to protect himself and to get the shot off. And it was a rising shot. Brown did not get a real good look at it, but had he even been able to touch it, I think it would have gone right through his hands.
Yeah, if it hit him in the stomach, it'd have taken him into the goal, probably.
Yeah, Doran, he really ripped that one.
He wasn't that far out, maybe 25, 30 feet
and he had a strong run onto it. The ball had just been headed off the boards by Usain as he was just a little bit off target after Preki had lifted the ball into him. Doran just followed through and just blasted it.
So Darrell Doran, a 4-time All-Star and a Storm captain, picks up his 7th goal of the season. Here's Greg Muir knocking the ball out of the Wichita zone ahead to Leite. Leite's pass to Brown missed him, but it's kicked back in to the St. Louis zone right to Toth, who covers up on it. Zoli hasn't had much work here.
Well, we like to keep it that way, especially for the last 50 seconds here of the half. You don't want to give one up now because you might be able to bury Wichita if you can let them go in down by 4 goals. If they would get one now, it might breathe a little life into them.
Leite's pass intercepted by Chico Borja. Back to Pittman, who was off for that penalty. Long ball down to Dale Irvine. Irvine's been very silent here in the first half of play. Irvine off the end boards. Nobody there for Wichita. Leite hammers it back to midfield. 27 seconds left. Long shot by Chico Morera. About a 100-footer. Well, not a 100-footer, about 75-footer. And it skips to Zoltan Toth, and he makes the save easily. Schmetzer, long ball to Thompson. You see it. Tomo plays it off the end boards once, twice, 3 times. And Chico Morera finally intercepts. Tomo had a tough angle there.
Looked like a pinball game.
Ball down to Irvine in the St. Louis zone. It's 1-on-3 as Irvine in the corner off the boards. And Preki kicks the ball out of play just as the horn sounds. First half is over. First half is over, and it turned out to be a Free kick for the Storm out of their own goal area, out of the box, with 25 seconds left on the Wings power play. Schmetzer kicks it to midfield, but right to Pittman as he chests it down and comes forward. Pittman cuts it to the right side to Irvine. Irvine dancing there with the ball, trying to get around Schmetzer. Gives it to Moreira, back to Irvine. He shoots, and going down and blocking it once again is Mark Fredrickson, who threw his body in front of another Irvine rocket.
He had to, because Irvine had space in front of him.
Here's Borja. Borja with a shot. That hit Fredrickson again. And the rebound comes all the way back to midfield and knocked Fredrickson down as he got that right in the chest. The penalty is over. Here's a shot saved by Zoli on a shot by Byrne. He didn't control the rebound, but Donegan got it and played it back to him. Great save.
That's great stuff all around, because just the penalty killing in general, especially Mark Fredrickson, who even when Toth made that last save was standing right next to Toth protecting the goal.
We had a rugby scrum on the far side as Doran went to the boards with 2 players, and he just won't give the ball up and was finally fouled. I think they're going to give it, I think it'll be a Storm kick. Yeah, Doran is there to take it. Now that was some great play. Fredrickson caught three cannon shots during that power play.
One of the most important things to do in a penalty killing situation is protect the goal. And that's what they did so well there. Toth had plenty of help. Fredrickson making 2 or 3 key blocks there.
42 seconds left in the period as Doran tried to walk in past Chico Moreira on the far side, and Doran is called on the foul. He thought he was being obstructed. 35 seconds left. No scoring here in the quarter, but we've had some action nonetheless. Long ball intended for Irvine. Eye steps in front of him, heads it out. Shot back in by Gomez on one bounce to Zoltan Toth. He grabs it, wraps his arms around it, throws it up to Thompson. You see him on the far side. Tomo double team, plays it off the wall, tried to get it back to Doran, picked up by Rowe. Here is a shot by Irvine. Oh, he hit the crossbar. Dale Irvine hit the crossbar from just out front. Now to Preki, 2-on-0. Preki over to Dragicevic, and he scores. Dragicevic got the easy goal as Preki laid it right on his foot very unselfishly. Preki could have taken that shot, but he got it to Emil. All he had to do was one touch it in, and it's 7-2 Storm with only 5 seconds left. And Cliff Brown, the keeper, came out and was screaming at his teammates about that.
Crossbar just over Zoltan Toth. He misses by maybe an inch, and the result is a goal at the other end.
And the third quarter is over as it's kicked off. Storm get a late goal with only 5 seconds left.
He then no longer had to worry about coaching, could concentrate on playing, and what a player he is. Unfortunately for them, he just went down with a season-ending injury.
Yeah, it's kind of a strange situation to go from a coach to a player. Here's Mark Moser on the floor now as he's going to get some playing time here in the fourth quarter. Tried to chest the ball back to Emil Dragicevic, lost it there. Cleveland cleared it out and hit it up into the St. Louis bench, knocked down by Coach Don Popovic. Yeah, it had to be a little uncomfortable for the man taking over.
There's a funny situation that Mike Sweeney, who had a run-in with Hoskey earlier in the year, had quit the team, but now was brought back by the new coach, and they were saying, "Were you going to room Hoskey with him?"
Not if you don't want a war. Here's Preki at the red line. Preki dribbles it across the floor, plays it to Schmetzer at the left point. Storm up 7-2 in the early seconds of the fourth quarter. Trying to climb back to within a game of first place San Diego. Preki steps over it once, twice, double team, knocked off the ball by Gomez.
Oh.
And then Preki got him from behind. Preki hammered him from behind.
Some ugly stuff. Gomez had gone after Preki first, and Preki wanted to let him know that he wasn't going to tolerate something like that. Looks like Preki's going to the box, too.
He's going to get 2.
And it was retaliation. Gomez had left an elbow out there for him. Preki then took umbrage and went after Gomez.
Preki walked right to the penalty box. I think he felt he
present the package to a potential owner and said, "What's the most you could possibly do?"
Ron Jacober and Ty Keogh at the arena. 5:30 left in this one on this Friday night shootout at the arena. The Storm well on their way to winning for the 23rd time this season. They'll only be tied 1 victory away from matching their entire victory total of a year ago when they won 24.
And they set a record that year for victories by an expansion team. So a team that didn't start off too badly, but they are definitely way ahead of where they were last time at this year.
8,536 sitting in on this one.
We've got David Byrne, who's now donned the 6th attacker jersey for the Wichita Wings. Seems like they were here just about 2-3 weeks ago, and he was, in fact, I talked to him about it. I don't know if you remember the storm, and De Oliveira was still playing and making a pest of himself. They lobbed the ball over Burns' head about 5-6 times. They didn't score, but he had to chase it each time, and he looked like he was going to die.
Oh, here's a ball and a shot, and Toth makes another save on an Irvine shot.
Irvine just shakes his head because he's had some golden opportunities, including the one that went off the crossbar late in the last quarter, and he can't seem to find a way to put one past Zoltan Toth.
Zoltan's been sharp tonight. Corner kick for the Wings. Borja will take it in the right corner. He's got Irvine on the far side of the box. Irvine runs on to it, and there's a shot by the 6th attacker, David Byrne, that goes wide. Donegan tries to hammer it out, can't get it out. Pittman keeps it in. Pittman marked by Schmetzer on the far side, sends it back to Byrne, the 6th attacker. He squares the ball to Morera, back to Byrne. Settles it with his left foot about waist high. Where'd he get those red shoes?
He's always worn them.
Here's Byrne off to Chico Morera.
I think they're the same ones.
Morera to Borja. Borja fairly deep into the St. Louis zone. He's marked by Frederickson, and Freddie knocks it away, and a foul is called against Frederickson as he got into. Oh, now Frederickson pushes Borja.
And then Borja swatted at him.
Yes, Borja, who has a rather short fuse. Irvine tried to restart while they were discussing it.
He's going to try anything. He figures we're not going to win this game. I got to keep my goals totals going up.
Yeah, it wasn't that vicious of a tackle by Frederickson.
Yeah, just a little late. Just a little late. Borja's just frustrated all around.
Borja is arguing with the official now.
Yeah, and he spent some time in the box. He's wishing that someone with a different color jersey might spend some time there too.
Two-man wall in front of Borja. He'll probably just hammer. Oh no, Pittman takes it and shoots and scores. They thought Borja was going to take it, and Pittman with that left footer buried it into the upper left corner. Good shot by Steve Pittman.
He's got a top drawer left foot, and he likes to use it, and it is a good option play there by the Wichita Wings, because like you said, Borja's got a fantastic right foot. Pittman could sneak up with the left. Either one of them could swerve the ball with it, and that's what Pittman did. He walked up to it and sent a whipping shot into the upper corner up high where Toth could not get to it.
So Wichita scores for the first time in the second half. It's 7-3 Storm. This is St. Louis Storm soccer. We have 4.5 minutes left in this one, and the Storm have a 4-goal lead. Wichita using the 6th attacker and just got a 6th attacker goal. Chico Morera to David Byrne, who's wearing the keeper's shirt, to Pittman. Pittman cranks and fires. Oh, that hard left footer again. And Toth punched it up over the top. Corner kick coming up for Wichita. Boy, he can't hit it.
That was a loaded shot. He overpowered it. Toth just barely punching it up over the glass. Now we're going to have to see whether what Don Popovic was putting on his little chalkboard is going to really take effect.
Because you know that's what he was talking about. Borja with the free kick. Pittman shoots, just misses on the right side. Morera fires, and that hits Terry Brown and goes out of play. Pittman is a 23-year-old out of Wilson, North Carolina.
Learned his soccer in Scotland, though. Just recently came back to the States within the last year. Was playing in the Scottish second and first divisions. But because he is an American citizen, he's had a chance a couple times already to play with the U.S. team. In fact, there was some speculation at one time before the World Cup in Italy that he would join the team in order to play in the World Cup.
Here's Borja with a restart to Byrne. Byrne down low for Pittman, but Doran steps in front of him, takes it away, kicks it down the floor. Byrne has to hustle back for it, his own red line. Terry Brown comes up to offer some resistance. Over to Pittman, back to Byrne. One touch to Borja. Borja's pass intercepted, momentarily knocked away by Donegan, not really intercepted. Donegan had thoughts of an empty net goal on his mind and didn't control the ball. Here's Morera to the red line, kicks it back to the middle of the floor to Byrne. Left side Pittman, middle of the floor to Gomez. Now here is Byrne again. Byrne to Chico Borja. Borja left side of the box, off to Byrne. Byrne settles it, doesn't shoot, gives it to Chico. Back to Morera right side. Down low for Dale Irvine. Irvine tried to cross it. Hit Doran. Headed out of there by Schmetzer. Down to Frederickson. Freddie kicks it down the floor. It's going to go in. A goal for Frederickson from 110 feet. An empty net goal, and that makes it 8-3.
A well-deserved hand from this crowd and from his teammates, Mark Fredrickson. Another outstanding defensive effort. He gets a goal that kind of caps it all off.
St. Louis Storm goal, his third of the season. Number 10, Mark Fredrickson. Assisted by number 7, Daryl Duran.
So the St. Louis defenders, Fredrickson and Doran, team up for that empty net goal to make it 8-3 with 3:10 left here now in the game.
A couple of guys who played together at St. Louis University.
That's
too.
right. There's David Eyes kicking the ball around the back of Irvine and getting called on the foul. So a couple of Billigans combined. Here's Borja with a shot, and a good save by Toth as he got his right hand on it, but standing right there for the rebound was Omar Gomez, and all he had to do was one touch it in, and that makes it 8-4. So another sixth attacker goal for the Wichita Wings. Gomez was unmarked, standing on the left post, and you just can't let the guy do that.
An easy one for Gomez, just to tap in, and I don't want to be critical of Zoltan Toth because he's really been strong when he's needed to be strong in this game, but he might have been able to hold that ball. It was a good shot by Borja and a good save, but the rebound was right on Gomez's foot.
So it's 8-4 with less than 3 minutes left. Now as Fredrickson has the ball, Freddie kicks it to midfield around Hunyak. Leite, Leite hammered to the boards on the far side. Boy, he was really creamed against the boards.
Gutsy play. He knew that might happen, but just to get his foot on the ball, he was willing to sacrifice himself.
A foul against the Wings. It's Fredrickson in midfield to Thompson. You see it at the right side on the boards, marked up by Vince Beck. Beck, a developmental player for Wichita, forced into action because of all the injuries. Mark Fredrickson cuts it, gives it to Thompson. You see it. Tomo's first touch wasn't very good, but he came back and won it from Irvine to Freddie. Back to Thompson. You see it. Double teamed along the boards. 2:23 left. Fredrickson kicks it down the floor into the Wichita end. Along the boards, it's David Byrne, the sixth attacker. Leite trying to push it through. Leite crossed it right through the goal mouth. Eyes came in for it, couldn't get it. Thompson, you see it, runs it down though outside the red line to Daryl Duran. Ran over to Tomo. Tomo back to Mark Fredrickson near his own red line, and Freddie kicks it back into the St. Louis zone to Zoltan Toth.
Fredrickson wisely looked up at the clock too, just to see how much time was left.
1:55, and Fredrickson is really hammered by Terry Rowe, and Rowe gets up and said, "What do you mean, me a foul?" I mean, he drilled it.
He stuck him real good.
He drilled it. He's lucky. Fredrickson lucky he didn't get hurt because he went at his legs. I don't think that was intentional.
Freddie just left his feet in time to not have them planted.
Oh, here's a cross by Thompson. You see it intended for Dragicevic. He would have had an open net to shoot at, but the sixth attacker, David Byrne, stepped right in front and took it away.
Another good fitness drill for David Byrne tonight.
Here is a foul. Now a penalty coming up.
And now an elbow from Borja.
Thompson, you see it, is going to go off, and then Borja elbowed Thompson in the stomach.
Some real animosity here between these two teams, and well, they just played 72 hours ago in overtime games. So,
more information.
Ron, you asked me earlier if I was Irish. My grandfather, Patrick John Keogh, was born on St. Patrick's Day in 1893, and he loved every minute of it, being able to tell people every year that his birthday was St. Patrick's Day.
Was he born in Ireland?
No, his grandfather was.
You see, and goes off for unsportsmanlike conduct.
He was born in St. Columkill Parish in South St. Louis.
It's 6-on-4 with Wichita using the sixth attacker. Chico Moreira at the red line. 1:23 left in the game. Down low, it's Pittman with a shot. Blocked by Duran. Donegan nudged it back outside the red line. Ball at midfield, and Smetzer ran onto it, almost stole it, but now he's got to hustle back. Irvine down deep, down low to Chico Borja. Back to Irvine. He fires, and that hit Donegan. Deflects off him all the way back down the floor.
What a way to score a goal that would have been.
Yeah, actually, it's going to roll a little wide, but it had enough on it that had it been on goal, it conceivably could have been there. Now we've got less than a minute left. It's 8-4 Storm. Wichita has a two-man advantage with the sixth attacker. Here's Byrne to Irvine. Irvine with a shot, hit Fredrickson again. Morera runs onto it, doesn't shoot though. Schmetzer comes right in his face. Now he shoots, blocked by Doran. Pittman has it. Pittman crosses it, comes through traffic all the way to the near boards to Byrne. Byrne top of the box, lays it off to Irvine. Irvine can't shoot. Donegan tried to knock it away, interfered with him a little bit, not allowing him to shoot. Now here is a cross by Byrne. Byrne crosses it the second time. Duran picks it up, hammers it down the floor. Yeah, he doesn't have the scoring touch tonight. It goes about 20 feet wide.
Not like Fredrickson, but he was shooting from a little bit further, and he had a line drive.
Yeah, he did. 14 seconds left. You can bank this one. You can put it in the bank. Here is Byrne with a shot, goes all the way through. And Zoli picks it up, and he's throwing it down the floor. He wanted to score. It'll not get down there, though. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. This game is over, and the Storm wins it. It's a big round of applause, standing O from the crowd here at the arena tonight. They've won 9, count them, 9 in a row.
Up front for the